Hey guys, LovelyMuze here, and welcome to Chapter 5 of my Unpopular Opinions video. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So, we've all heard of the Row 1 controversy, or at least I hope you have. If you have not, then I will just provide a short summary of the issue. Well, in short, about a month ago, during one of SF9's online fan meeting events, Row 1 was asked by one of the fans to act in a cutesy manner. Of course, him being sensible and acting his age, he refused, stating, and I quote, "Before I am an idol, I am a human." Apparently, some netizens found an issue with the way he responded, and it ended up getting blown up. Let me just clarify for those who may not be familiar with what it means to act in a cutesy manner. It is basically the act of acting cute, almost childlike, even at times using a baby voice, facial expressions, and gestures, for one's own amusement. Now that we got that out of the way, I don't understand, and I don't know how many times it needs to be asked, but when are fans going to get it in their heads that idols are human beings too, the majority of them being grown adults? Fans need to realize that idols have every right to refuse to act a certain way, dress a certain way, and be perceived a certain way that makes them uncomfortable. If Row 1 does not like doing that and he feels uncomfortable doing it, then he has every right to refuse it when people ask him to do it. Trying to get your idol to act like a child for your own amusement is not part of an idol's job description. Idol bending back and forth on you guys' ridiculous requests is also not part of their job description. People who say it is and genuinely believe it, have probably never worked as a customer service employee, and it shows. The only reason why idols do it, despite it being ridiculous and making them uncomfortable, is because they simply want to make you happy, and show their gratitude towards you for supporting them. Let's not act like you, yourself wouldn't feel uncomfortable if a stranger came up to you or video called you, asking you to act cute, for the sake of them supposedly being your fan. If you were truly a fan of the idol you claim to love, and respect, you wouldn't be asking them to do things that they feel uncomfortable doing, and you wouldn't get offended when they refuse it either. Nevertheless, we are moving into a new year, so I really hope fans will stop asking grown-ass adults to be acting like children. Because at this point, I am starting to believe it is becoming a weird kink for some of you, and it shows. Lastly, people were saying his response was rude. Exactly what part of his response was rude? He simply stated how he was a human before he is an idol, which is true. Last I checked, he wasn't exactly born an idol, was he? He simply wants to be treated and respected as a human being, and be one, rather than be a mindless idol who does everyone's bidding. I have been seeing a lot of New East fans saying how Pletus has favoritism towards 17 and therefore is always putting their focuses on them, leaving New East in the dust. At this point in time, I am convinced that there are some New East fans, not all of course, but a good amount, who genuinely want to start something with 17. I don't know who needs to hear it. Actually no, I do know who needs to hear this, so please listen. The only reason why it seems like Pletus is showing favoritism towards 17, or it seems like 17 gets more support than New East, is simply because 17 does 95% of the work, leaving the 5% for Pletus to do. What I mean is, that those supposed promotions you see, aren't always coming from Pletus a lot of the time, but the majority of it is from the 17 members themselves. I don't know how many times carrots need to keep saying this, but 17 isn't called self-producing idols for no reason. They self-produce 90% of their music, their choreography, their promotions, and even their reality shows. The concepts and themes you see on their famous Going 17 series, come from the members themselves, with the help of the producers to help bring those concepts and ideas to life. Even the theme song for their Going 17 show was created and produced by the members themselves. There is a whole episode showcasing that. The promotions you see that you say New East lacks from the company doesn't always come from the company, but from the constant self-promotions the 17 members go out of their way to do, most notably Sungkwan, who doesn't miss an opportunity to promote the group every time he is invited on variety shows. Even Eskuza stated on multiple occasions that he attends every board meeting that has to do with 17. To make sure to know about every decision being made on behalf of the group, and to put his 2 cents into the decision-making, to make sure it is in good favor of the members, and the group's future. Furthermore, we can't forget the time 17 debuted, Pletus was literally on the verge of bankruptcy, which is one of the reasons why 17's debut kept getting pushed back and delayed. The vice CEO of the company literally sold his own house to get 17 to finally debut. At that point, the company was basically betting everything on the success of 17's debut, and luckily for them, their debut was a massive hit. Whether the fans of New East or other fandoms want to believe it or not, but 17 literally put Pletus back on their feet, and was the group that got them out of bankruptcy. So rather than favoritism per se, I kind of see it as Pletus just being extremely cautious to not bite the hand that saved them, and is continuing to help feed them. In short, people need to realize that 17 to Pletus is exactly what BTS is to Big Hit. It has been made aware that a change in South Korea's law has effectively extended the career span of male Korean idols enlisting into the military to 2 years. Before this new law, male idols, or really, male Korean citizens, once turned 28, had to enlist into the military for a certain period. However, because of the massive success of BTS, they extended it for 2 years. So instead of enlisting at the age of 28, they now have until the age of 30 to enlist into the military. Now, how do I feel about this? Well, for one, I think this is definitely beneficial for everyone, including regular Korean citizens, who now have a little more time to spend before entering the military. Also, for groups like BTS, it provides them a little more time to wrap up neatly before members start going off one by one to the military, instead of abruptly having to take a break in between their success or promotions. As stated by John Youngji, a member of the Democratic Party, and I quote, "Their careers can blossom in their 20s, and we cannot let their military duties block their way at the height of their careers." So, in other words, you basically only live young once, and in order to maintain the level of success that the members of BTS have, they need to constantly be putting out music and content and connecting with their fans. And it is kind of hard to do that when you are serving in the military. I mean, just take Big Bang as an example. Big Bang was basically in the same position BTS is currently in. They were huge and were once regarded as kings of Kpop. But as the members started heading off to the military one by one, their popularity slowly died down due to the lack of content being produced from them, and the breaks happening. Even though Big Bang is still regarded as one of the legends of Kpop, and is still relatively remembered, unfortunately, they aren't at the same level of popularity as they once were prior to enlisting, which is exactly what they fear for BTS. Especially seeing how much impact BTS has on South Korea's economy, in regard to tourism. So, they can't exactly risk losing that attraction just yet. So, I do understand why they introduced this new law, and I don't really have any problems with it. And so, I definitely understand why they passed the law, and in the end, even though they made the law thinking of BTS specifically, at the end of the day, every K-pop group, and every male Korean citizen does get to benefit from it. However, I can also definitely understand why some fans may have an issue with it. Some may see it as BTS getting favoritism, but as I stated earlier, this law benefits everyone. So whether they are doing this for BTS's sake really shouldn't matter, because every idol group gets to benefit from it either way. My fourth opinion is that the Seungri hate train needs to stop at this point. It is time for people to throw in their daggers and pitchforks, and let the man live his life peacefully, or at the very least, breathe. The guy has been proven to be innocent. He was never accused of any sexual crime, and he was never part of the JJY Smolka group chat and had nothing to do with it. The only thing he was accused of was the whole Burning Sun incident, but that was also cleared up, and proven he has no part in it. According to reports, his only connection to the club was the fact that he is a shareholder or an investor, and since he is popular and a celebrity, the club more or less made him the face of the club, which in turn made it easy for people and the tabloids to go after him, instead of the actual club owners. The only thing Seungri is most likely guilty of is gambling, which, if anyone has been a fan of Big Bang for the longest time, would know that Seungri gambling isn't anything new. If anything, I believe he has mentioned it himself, having a habit of doing that, but that is it. So, for those of you going under his comments or writing hateful things about him, just solely because you want to see this man suffer, seriously need deliverance, and I will make sure to have you in my prayers. However, for those of you who end up straying away, despite my strong efforts to pray for you, all I can say is that there is a special place in hell for you, just as you believe there is a special place in hell for Seungri. Also, just like you guys are so quick to move on when your faves do something problematic, please learn to move on from this situation also. At this point, I believe that those who are continuing to hate on him genuinely want him to be guilty of those crimes because of their own personal hatred they have towards him. We are moving into a new year, so for the love of God, can we leave babying grown-ass adults and preventing them from taking accountability for their actions in 2020? Like, please, I am begging you. I am tired of singing the same tune and constantly being frustrated every time news breaks out of an idol doing something wrong or being disrespectful, and the fans literally going out of their way to defend them, like they're some supreme god or goddess that needs protection or saving. These are grown adults who genuinely do not know you. Like, sis, they don't know you. But here you are defending them like your life depends on it, knowing damn well they won't do the same. I love 17, but if one of them was to do something wrong, I am not going to be sitting here on my chair, or laying on my bed, typing away, using every ounce of my energy to defend them, knowing damn well they don't even know my name. In short, if an idol does something wrong, please, allow them to take full responsibility for it, and let them see the damage they've done. Stop trying to justify certain things that you know you yourself would have a problem with if it was done by someone else who isn't your fave. Alrighty, this might be a little controversial, but since January is right around the corner, might as well say it. So, we all know about the annual couple reveal at the very start of each year that Dispatch does. Where at the beginning of every year, they leak photos of two idols they believe to be dating, which in the end, ends up being true, the famous one being Kai and Jennie reveal. Well, am I the only one who really doesn't have an issue with what Dispatch does? Like, at the end of the day, Dispatch is simply doing their job. They are reporters or whatnot, they uncover scoops and investigate leads, and when they find one to have a substantial amount of evidence leading it to be true, they share it with the public. Like, honestly, K-pop fans are huge hypocrites. You guys be the same ones dying to know whom your faves are secretly dating, but the moment Dispatch uncovers it and shares it with the public, you'll go ahead and say they are invading their privacy and that Dispatch is evil, or this, that, and the third. You guys are the same ones bashing Dispatch, but here you are, tweeting and posting about how you can't wait for Dispatch to reveal the next couple. Like, what is it? You either want Dispatch to stop revealing idols who are dating, for the sake of privacy, or you want them to continue revealing couples, hoping that one of your ships ends up being true. This is really one of the reasons why I feel like you guys look forward to these reveals. Hoping Dispatch reveals these certain idols are dating, and it turns out to be the idols you have been shipping all along. Yeah, I see you. All I am saying is that, from what I have seen, you guys sound very hypocritical bashing Dispatch, yet waiting like hungry dogs for Dispatch to feed you the next reveal. Well, this brings me to the end of this chapter. If you agree or disagree with the opinions I shared, please feel free to respectfully share your own reasons or opinions down below. Until next time, this has been LovelyMuze.